Already motion palpated, Sarah, and we found a PL listing in type 2 somewhere along the lumbar spine. So we're still going to lie Sarah down in exactly the same position that we did before, so that the spinous process, that is the lesion, is pointing towards the floor. So please lie on your left. Okay, so the spinous process is still pointing towards the floor. This time the idea is, instead of using the mammillary body as the teeter-totterer, we're actually going to be using the spinous process as the teeter-totterer. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be hooking underneath that spinous process, and using vectors and leverage, we're going to be lifting it up in place. That's what we're going to be doing. So for those of you who are having issues finding the mammillary body, or for those of you who felt like you were too short and they were too long and your shoulder was out of place, this might be a little bit easier for you. We're still going to lie them in lateral recumbent position, so lower leg is going to be straight, top leg is going to be bent and tucked behind the popliteal fossa. I still want that leg parallel to the floor. So 1, 2, 3, twist with me. There we go. We'll also want to make sure that the leg is slightly off the table, not completely on the table, so that we have lever room. You're going to set them up in the arms whatever way that you want, however you want, as long as you can keep them on the table, regardless of whether they were 30 pounds or 300 pounds. So you're already in this I dream of G position. The only thing is I want you to twist with me a little, so hold me here. 1, 2, 3, twist. There we go. Just to hop you off that shoulder. Okay, now I'm ready to find the location of the problem. L1. Painful?
My whole back's kind of centered.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could set up for it, or am I at T12? I think I'm at T12. So you can do these particular adjustments for the lower thoracic region as well. You treat them like a lumbar if you wanted to. In fact, they behave like lumbars, if you remember from motion palpation last year. Okay, so here's what I would do. I could either set up for it like a lumbar roll, where if I'm at the thoracic spine, I'd be putting my fingers not on the mammillary body because there aren't any, but on the TVP, or on a mammillary body if I were lower down. Or on this case, what I'd be doing is, so here's the spinous process that's not in the right spot. With my adjusting hand, I'm going to reinforce my middle finger. Just take my other 2 fingers and splint my middle finger. However you want to splint it, I usually just wrap them on top. And I'm going to hook my middle finger underneath the spinous process. Here it is. I'm hooking underneath the spinous process. My arm is going to drape across the gluteus medius like this. Okay, now I'm just going to move this leg up until I feel this spinal segment move. And the reason is because that will assist me in isolating this particular segment here. Once I feel it move, I know that I have taken away all the drag from that below. I don't think I told you about that before either, but you were picking spaces low down, so the leg angle was fine. But the higher up you go, the more you actually have to bring the leg up to make sure that it moves. Okay, so my arm is hooked across gluteus medius. Now you can either do thigh to thigh or knee to knee here. It doesn't matter. Now personally, for this particular adjustment, I prefer knee to knee, because what I'm about to do with my arm on thigh to thigh, my arm gets in the way of my thrust with my leg. So I tend to find that knee to knee works better for this adjustment, but whatever. You guys figure it out and do whatever you want to do. Both are correct. I'm going to show you how to do this knee to knee. So knee goes on top of the knee. She's going to breathe in and breathe out more for relaxation than anything else. You don't have to use the breathe in and breathe out if you don't want to. What I'm going to do is on the breath out, I'm going to be doing 2 things. With my arm, I'm going to be dragging my arm so that my elbow goes in towards my ASIS, which will start to teeter-totter the spinous process up, 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 up. At the same time as I'm going to be dropping down, down, down on the leg, because the pelvic torque will assist me in that torsion of the spinous process back up, up, up where it needs to be. Notice how I'm not flopped on top of Sarah like this. Notice how I'm up like this. And I'm just dragging my elbow in towards my ASIS, and I'm ready to adjust here. Okay, now, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm ready to adjust here. The adjustment is 3 things all at once. It is the bow. At the same time as you are bringing your elbow in towards your ASIS, at the same time as you're kick-starting the motorcycle. So 1, 2, 3, that's what you're doing, okay? Let's reset you up. Okay, so, goes with me. Okay, breathe in all the way out.
Oh.